Hey guys, and welcome back to the full-time travel planning series. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 12 tips on how to avoid health issues on the road. We are going to be giving you 12 tips on things you can do in order to avoid getting health issues on the road. This won't cover every possible thing, but I think this will cover a wide enough array that's going to keep you healthy. These are tips that I have experienced both through food poisoning, sunburns, infections, mosquito bites, every possible thing you can think of. I probably have ran into the issue, not life-threatening or anything, but just small annoyances that could lead to much larger issues. So I want to go ahead and share with you over the next 12 tips here, all of those things, and I think you'll find them super helpful by the end of the video. The first tip on the list here is when you're at the grocery store picking up food, I would always recommend to check your groceries you're getting. Not all countries, and especially your very much like family owned, not all of them, but ones with less regulations than your more, massive big box retailers in countries all around the world are going to have less regulations. They're going to have, different priorities in mind. They won't want to waste whatever it might be, which brings the chance that you might have products which are already expired. So do a thorough check to make sure they look okay, and then also check the expiration date. See if there's any different signs of weird colors or mold or whatever that might be, and then wash them once you get home. Make sure you look up to see if you can drink the water before you just start drinking it. That's one way to get very sick very easily. Number 3, don't pet the animals. They might look nice and cuddly and cute, but a lot of them might be carrying various types of diseases, and if they bite you or scratch you, you might be the next carrier. While they look nice, cuddly, and cute, when you get rabies and you're foaming from the mouth, it's not as cute. Number 4 on the list, I think we can all relate to this one a bit more. Getting those hands washed more often, especially when you're going through airports. They say that the airport trays are more filthy than the bathrooms themselves in an airport. So that's pretty disgusting, because I'm sure almost every single one of us uses those whenever we go through airports. So wash those hands for a solid 20 seconds thoroughly and as frequently as possible, especially with this pandemic that just happened and is still going on at the moment. I think that's been 20 seconds. Number 5 is prevent those bug bites. Get yourself some off spray. That will be one of the easiest ways to reduce getting any sorts of diseases. Insects carry diseases, so in order to avoid them, you want to stay protected as often as possible. Definitely speak with your travel doctor on which places are going to have the highest risk though. Number 6 is ironic because it is wear sunscreen, and of course I broke this rule the other day when I was like, oh, it's the first sunny day here in Wisconsin, it's 70 degrees, and I got fried. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm literally peeling. But make sure you fully lather up and get your sunscreen on, because I'll tell you, these New Zealand rays can really give you a nice color. I put on some SPF 30 and SPF 70 on my nose, and I still got burnt after putting it on once. So you even need to reapply if you're gonna be outside all day. So definitely make sure you do that, because you don't wanna take something home like skin cancer. That's the one souvenir you don't want. The sun is usually stronger than you think it is. Have some sunscreen with you. Don't pack too much, buy it on the go, because it does take up a lot of space, and you can't, especially with large bottles, usually bring it in your carry-ons. But sunscreen is one of the easiest ways to prevent skin cancer and other related things that are caused from over burning yourself. Number 7 is avoid getting infections. But how do you avoid getting infections when you get hurt? Well, the best thing you can do is have a small first aid kit with some antiseptics, some band-aids, and some other things. I will include a link below on what the standard first aid kit that I use is. It covers all of the basics you need. Number 8, like we talked about in an earlier video, see that travel doctor. Get your medications. I'm not going to tell you what you should get, but what I personally got was anti-malaria medication, and then I also got some altitude sickness in case I'm too high in the mountains and get sick. And then I got some traveler's diarrhea medication in the case that I get food poisoning or diarrhea or something like that. Having these things available gives me great peace of mind, especially if I'm in a remote area and get sick. Nothing is worse than getting sick and not being able to cure yourself. So have some of these on hand to both prevent and be reactive for some of the things. Once again, consult your travel doctor on where you're going though. That's gonna be the #1 thing. This video is not meant to give you recommendations on what types of medications to get. I'm just letting you know what I've gotten based off travel recommendations from my doctor. Number 9. In a lot of areas around the world, in freshwater areas, that is where a lot of parasites live. So try and avoid swimming in freshwater lakes around the world. Stick to that salt water and you're going to be in a much better place because those parasites are nasty. I'm no expert on it, but the research that I've done on when you get those in your body, it's pretty disgusting. Number 10, try and wear your shoes as often as possible when you're in public places, whether it's your hostel bathroom, whether it is a common area, a locker room, whatever that might be. Make sure to wear those shoes because it's going to help so much in mitigating any chance that you're going to have some sort of parasites that are living somewhere on the floor. They're gonna crawl into your body, so keep those shoes on. Number 11, an easy one you should do whenever you arrive at accommodation, especially cheaper accommodation, is check your bed. I'm not gonna go through the full process for it here, but what I will do is I'll put a link below with step-by-step instructions that shows pictures and everything on how you can check your room, your bed for bed bugs prior to hopping in there. That's going to be key and it'll save you from picking that up and being the next spreader of that disgusting little insect or insects. Number 12 is quite inevitable, but mitigate your chance and avoid food poisoning. How do you do that? Well, you should order fully cooked meats. Try and avoid that street food when possible. I know it can be part of the experience, but just know that's a risk you're taking. Street food a lot of the times is where personally I've gotten food poisoning from going to some of those street vendors. That's part of it. If you want to take that risk, go for it. But if you want to avoid it, maybe consider going to a more localized place that has better hygienic standards. Not saying all street food is like that. Once again, it depends on the country, it depends on the regulations, but it's something to keep in mind that I've personally gotten sick in some of the more developing or third world countries where it is more common to not have such extreme standards for health and cleaning. The last point I'll mention here, try and order the local foods. The reason being is when I was in Koh Phi Phi in Thailand with my previous girlfriend, she ordered Käse Spätzle, and that is basically like a German macaroni and cheese from a big restaurant in Koh Phi Phi. It had really good ratings, some of the best actually on the island. And we both got so sick from eating it. If we were to guess, it was probably because that cheese or one of the ingredients was left out because people didn't commonly order a German cuisine when they're on the island of Koh Phi Phi in the middle of Thailand. So just be careful when you're ordering some of those very similar to at-home dishes because maybe not that many people are going to that destination and ordering them. So that means if the restaurant's not washing closely, some of those ingredients could expire. I don't know, who knows, they could have left it out too long. This is a bit of speculation. It does make sense to me that if Käse Spätzle is not ordered often, then those ingredients could have just passed their expiration date. They served it to us and we got so sick. And when I mean so sick, I mean like just the worst food poisoning I've ever gotten. It took like 3 full days to recover, both out of the front, out of the back. Yeah, too many details for you already, but I'm telling you that so you're extra careful because food poisoning can really screw up your day or your week. So that wraps up my 12 tips for you guys on avoiding health issues on the road. Try and follow these types of things. Getting sick or infections or any of that is not fun. It can cost you a lot of money, so get that travel insurance like we talked about before. And it just overall can screw up your experience. So take some of those easy precautions and it'll keep you in a better place having a great time traveling. So guys, in the next video, in episode 20, we're going to give you 10 things that you must pack in your suitcase. They are musts for me and I wouldn't share these if I truly didn't believe in every single one of these products. All right guys, and that wraps up this video. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up so other viewers like you can find it. And if you don't want to miss the next video, 10 things you need in your suitcase, hit that subscribe button below and we will see you guys in the next video.